Yeah, so how this pandemic affected me. So, well, first of all, traveling, you have to have that 14 days isolation, right? What the government implemented, right? And it's tough because not only you're traveling from another country and have 14 days, but when you come back, it's another 14 days, right? So if you think about it, that's like a month of worth, like a waste of your vacation, right? So that kind of like affected my traveling.
So it was catastrophic when it comes to booking tickets, waiting for the borders to open, and the fact that statistics are increasing with the cases. So I was actually scared, but then I thought like, what would happen if I did not leave, if I just stayed? That would make me more worse. So I just did it anyway, and I made it. And I would say with the bookings, it was catastrophic when it comes to the airline. New protocols now, but then I would say as well, it's like the best and the worst. The worst because of what is happening, of course, but the best because it was easier, less people. It was less touristic, something less stressful, I would say.
Sumamba ako. Sumamba in a sense na pagpasok ng 2020, early 2020, by pattern usually nag-travel mga once. At peak, siguro nag-travel mga 4 times a year. Pero, ano na yun, sobra na yun. Pero usually once or twice lang. And for this year, pumasok yung nag-start in 2020, wala na akong masyadong plano for the rest of the year. Parang walang location that comes to mind na talagang gustong-gusto kong bisitahin. So okay lang naman, di naman magmamadali kasi eventually makakaisip ka na, like, I want to go there, then you go there.
Also, right, you gotta watch for your health, right? Your safety. You gotta, not worry about yourself, but also for your family, your friends, and you have all this restriction where you have to wear a mask, not try to be in large crowded, and yeah, like if it bums because I work in the industry, right, the airline industry, and not only it affected my travel, it affected my work, right? I worked for Air Canada for 5 years, and with this coronavirus, I lost, I'm laid off because of what happened. And, it pretty much stopped me from traveling as what I did before, where I travel for like 2 months, for like, twice a month.
I was actually thinking of that before, but I think I have like some internal problems with like kind of personal problem that I did not really know how to handle, and especially COVID, like who should I look to during the time. So it was really difficult. And then the decision I made is it for me to have this freedom that I feel like I needed. It's kind of a therapy, I would say. I know it was risky, but then it was the best decision that I made, I would say.
And yeah, sinuwerte ako kasi pandemic, tapos wala rin naman akong plano. Tapos yun nga, yung sinasabi lang kanina na logistically, mahirap mag-travel. Pero technically, pwede ka mag-travel, pero inisip ko parang mahirap, then magulo, and then at the same time, do I really want to travel? Do I really want to risk it? So, yan. And then, ang inisip ko lang naman at the back is like, ayokong, like parang half-assed na travel, I go somewhere. I'd rather na, tambay muna trabaho and then kayod, and ipon. And then mamaya naman, usually when I think of something, it's usually like a big blast. So ipon for that. Yeah.
Like I said, like safety first, right? Like you could leave the traveling for next time, Right now, we're going through this pandemic, and we want to make sure everyone's good, and so we could go back to the normal days that we had.
pilgrimage that I did, it's actually it's not really soul searching, but it's more like a pilgrimage of a personal reason of.
Hindi naman ako like germaphobe to an extent na talagang walang travel. I still want to. Top 2 na passions ko kasi talaga actually is both. One is traveling and then one is snowboarding. So obviously the other one is like season dependent. So pagka winter, walang travel, mostly snowboard lang. So I'm hoping this gets well before snowboard, and then yun lang. If I'm going to be traveling like during winter, it's probably snowboarding, and then sana open, and then may mask ka naman, di ba? I hope it's open.
I've been having internal struggle already, and especially when COVID happened, it became worse, of course, like who I should look up to during the time, right? So I did not know what to do. So it's more like doing it. It was risky leaving the country during the time of the pandemic, but it was the best decision, of course, that I did, because doing it, it's more, the COVID is more behavioral, right? Like how we behave. So going to the host country, I had to make sure that I'm healthy and at the same time always follow the protocol, which what we can only do right now, follow protocol and rules.
Sa akin, siguro, pumasok siya mga July, August. Kasi ang nangyari is, nung nag-umpisa yung pandemic, alam ko na ano mangyari. Parang walang travel, mahirap mag-travel, or delikado mag-travel. You don't want to be that guy na, this guy brought, the virus to Canada again. So I don't want to be that guy. But yeah, parang pinlaan ako na lang siya in my head. And then, the general simplified plano naman is parang, trabaho lang, wala ka nang rumang pupuntahan. Wala kang pwede magawa. Then most of my friends, actually, marami akong kaibigan internationally because of the consistent traveling that I do. So naturally, it's not like, alam mo yun, parang kato ka na lang, kapitbahay, sort of thing, di ba? Mahirap din naman pumunta. So, ipon lang, then trabaho. Then naka-affect sa akin nung August, kasi talagang binisi ko yung sarili ko for trabaho. Then, after that, there's this one point na natapos lahat. Pagtapos lahat, parang, now what? Like, what do we do? So, yun.